Hey everyone, I'm Ryan from Awoke2Crypto, and this is Harmony Spotlight. This week joining me is Titus. Hey Titus.
What's up?
So in Harmony Spotlight, we like to we take a look at someone else in the community, take a deeper look, get to know a community member. Titus, we see you on Twitter all the time. Another fellow Harmony validator. We've been talking to you. You will be the third one we've talked to, and we want to get to know you a little bit better. So why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself, Titus? Who are you? What part of the world do you live in? And how about we'll start off with the easy questions like that.
Well, I'm Titus. Right now, I'm currently based on Washington, D.C. And I am a weatherman by trade, as a lot of you might have noticed by my posts and stuff. My original name for my validator was Weather1, but I thought it was too bland. I said, maybe Titus will make me stand more. So yeah, I'm very old. I'm 38. I turned 38 in September. So yeah.
I like that you think that's very old because I'm 36. So I mean, relatively, we're old in the crypto space. Is that what you think? So
compared to the general demographic, I think we are. Well, it depends.
Yeah, but fair enough. We can be some of the seniors in the crypto space. Yeah. So nice. So weatherman, huh? That's interesting. That must keep you busy.
Keeps me very busy.
Yep. Okay.
Very busy. Yeah.
Interesting. I love it. That's it's one of those jobs that everybody knows what a weatherman does, but I don't come across actual weathermen very often. Are you on TV or radio or anything like that?
No. Everybody asks me that because I provide weather for different companies and government entities, like for airports, for ships. It's no, I'm not on TV. I don't say that I'm a meteorologist because I don't have a PhD. You have to have a PhD. I'm just a weatherman, like the same analogy for like doctors and nurses.
Gotcha.
I am the nurse.
Gotcha. And then just to show you how little everybody else knows about weather, because since everybody asks that same question, we all just assume everybody on TV is the same type of weatherman. So
yeah.
Gotcha.
But yeah, I am not on TV.
Gotcha. That makes sense. Cool.
And hopefully will never be.
Yeah. Fair enough. Yeah. As long as you do what you like.
Yeah.
Nice. So besides weather, what do you do for fun? I see on Twitter, you post, you seem to work out a lot, right? I get leg day push and stuff like that. You must be busy at the gym, right?
Yeah. I work out a lot, especially now since the COVID thing has sort of diminished with the lockdowns and stuff. I work out more for the sake of my mental health because it's something that helps me stay focused. Sure. And so, yeah, I am very big into working out and dieting and counting calories. And I see a lot of people in the crypto space are also into that because whenever I post it's leg day, I get a lot of replies about leg day.
I can totally appreciate that. I do the same thing. I use a stationary. I use a bike, and end up using a stationary bike. I've got a bike it's my actual bike, but I have a trainer that I set up. I take my back wheel off my actual bike, but I like to, as I always like to say, I like to multitask. So I set up my bike, and I end up biking inside in my house, so I can end up watching YouTube stuff on crypto, or I watch a subscription to Real Vision. It's a financial, essentially like Netflix. and so I like to bike for an hour every day. What's that?
Running your node while you.
Yeah, exactly. Oh yeah. I'm checking my phone. I'm checking Twitter and stuff like that while I'm biking an hour every day. So I get it. And it's a peace of mind. I don't feel good unless I at least get that workout in every day.
Yeah. That is true. Whenever I skip a day, I feel like total crap.
One of my favorite questions to ask people is, what brought you into crypto? So it was actually, I'm going to ask a two-part. What brought you into crypto, and when was it? When did you first get into crypto?
Okay, so I got into crypto because I don't remember when. I think it was some years after Bitcoin came out. I don't know if you remember when Coinbase was just like this obscure page online.
Okay.
Where you could only buy Bitcoin. So I remember a friend of mine talked to me about Bitcoin. I was like, that sounds like the biggest scam I have ever heard in my life. This was maybe back in 2015 or something. But I got curious. So I went into what is now Big Coinbase, which was something that looked more like an email account back in the day. And I opened an account and Bitcoin was just $400.
Okay.
And I was about to buy one. And I said, this sounds scammy. Like I am not going to buy that. And I forgot about it. And then last year, when was it that it got last year? Like the ATH was what, 22 or something?
Sure.
Something like that. I saw that in the news and I was like, what? So I went back into Coinbase. I said, I forgot that I had already had an account.
Sure. Yeah.
And when I went in, I said, there is this email. It's already like in the system. I was like, what? Wait. And then I remembered, and I was like, I could have bought that coin for $400, and now I would have been really well off. And I was like, I need to get into this. So I didn't buy Bitcoin because I knew nothing about crypto. So I didn't understand what Satoshis were.
Sure.
I knew nothing. So my first investment was Algo.
Yeah, great investment.
Because it looked so, compared to the other ones, it looked so stable-ish compared to other coins. And then I forgot about it again. And during the beginning of this bull run, I saw how everything was going up again. And I said, I need to get into it. So I started investing. And now I have more than 30 coins that I cannot keep track of.
Yep.
And the one that I keep the track of the most is Harmony now.
Sure. I gotcha. So Algo is a great one to get into right away. That's funny. That's one of the ones that caught my eye early on. It's hard not to get caught by one like that when you have when you're doing research on them, when you get one where what's his I'm blanking out his name, right? Professor what's his face from MIT and stuff like that.
Shikali,
yeah. When you're doing the research and you come across like a founding team like that, but you could say the same thing about Harmony, right? When you get to Steven Say and stuff like that. So speaking of Harmony, what is it? What attracted you to Harmony? What was it about Harmony that made it kind of, the project, the one that?
Well, I remember that I watched a video from Coin Bureau.
Yeah.
The British guy.
Yeah, I love Coin Bureau.
Yeah, and he mentioned it in one of his videos. Like I don't know if he was talking about Cosmos or something, and he mentioned Harmony, and I had already opened an account on Binance, and I said, let me take a look, and it was like 5 cents when I started, or something, or 3 cents or something. So this looks cheap. I'm just gonna buy it. I had no idea what Harmony was. I knew it was another altcoin.
Yep.
And I bought, and then as I kept on learning more and more about crypto and what proof of stake was, what governance was, etc. I started to look into becoming a validator, because I noticed that becoming a miner, for example, for Bitcoin or a node runner for ETH, it's like oversaturated and super expensive. So I was like, that's out of my league. But on Twitter, I started following all these validators like JRC, JCR,
yep,
Farmony, Tim, like all of these people. And I noticed how different the community in Harmony was compared to the other people that I followed. But my first attempt to be a validator was with Polkadot. And the community in Polkadot, they are a very smart group of people. They are very smart. Polkadot, in my opinion, and they know it's one of the best projects out there, one of the most innovative, but they are very aware of how great they are. So they are not that humble. And I mean, they have the right to be like that. So trying to find help to become a validator for Polkadot, it was like walking into a scene of Mean Girls. And I was like, this is way too inclusive. Like it's too weird. Like they were not helping me. They were just dismissing. Like if you really if you're not a dev, like if you're really adept in coding, like they will not care for you.
Sure.
Yeah. So, but then I started. Let me see if I can become one for Harmony, because they look more chummy. They look more helpful.
Sure.
And it was at the end, like when I started mine, I started with the testnet, and the amount of help I got from all of the validators was like immense. Like in setting it up, like I had never coded in my life. When I opened that terminal, I was like, what is this? This looks like I know that this window here, it's what hackers in movies use to do stuff.
Yeah.
But I've never used it. But yeah, I got a lot of help. And that's what got me into Harmony. It was most of the community. I actually learned what Harmony did after setting up the validator.
Sure.
Because I got enamored more with the community, more than with the project.
Sure. That makes sense. It's funny. I was researching Harmony, and I had been researching them, and I had invested into them anyways as just as fundamentals, as I just thought they were an undervalued project. I just thought they were really good. And then we were talking about my friends and I, the ones that the group we're in. We just have been meeting. We'd meet every week as our little investment group, and we're sitting there meeting, talking about wanting to get more involved. And we're like, oh, we should we should see how to run a validator, just like you're talking about. I'm just like, well, I know you could. The barrier to entry is pretty low on Harmony compared to others, right? Yeah. And so we looked into Harmony, and it's exactly, the same. We've had the same experience that you're talking about. Is you do, besides the low entry point, which is changing. And actually, Easy Noah talked about that in his interview. It's like, obviously, as we're seeing new all-time highs, 10,001 is 10,001, but it's a lot more expensive now than it was like 6 months ago and stuff like that. Yeah. But the reality is, like, the one thing that's not changing is how helpful people are, right? Yeah. Like, you have those people, whether it be the original validators early on who are still on Telegram helping people, and you have guys like Easy Note who are sitting there building guides that are available for free, and then stuff like that he's putting out there, and it's all very accessible. And so and whereas Polkadot and stuff like that, I haven't even dove in. I've done a little research. I did just base research on a couple of those, and some of those ones are a little scary, and it's interesting to hear. It's interesting to hear. And I guess I'm not shocked that the mentality from some of the big players and like a Polkadot, where it's going to be the entitlement from the community, right? Yeah.
Cause they know they are good. Like they know they're like this diamond in the crypto community, and they are, because like the parachain stuff and everything, it's very impressive. And the team behind it, like Gavin Wood, it's like this, like he's one of the crypto gods. Yeah. So they're like that.
Are you involved heavily with any other crypto projects besides Harmony, or is it just is that the bread and butter?
Well, the other ones, I'm just investing.
Gotcha. Yep.
and staking. But Harmony right now, it's my main.
Sure.
It's my main purpose. Yeah.
Yep, that makes sense. Well, it seems to keep you busy enough. I think I see on social media with Harmony quite a bit. I was gonna say I don't know if you have time. You'd have time for too many other projects, to be that busy with. So I gotcha. One of the other things that you came online as a validator back in was it July-ish or something like that? Did I see?
July, yeah.
Yep. Okay.
That's when I started. Yeah.
Yep. And so one of the things I want to talk to you about was, you came online on July and you got elected, at a pretty quickly. You did pretty well for yourself, and gaining traction, and you've stuck with that. And that's one of those things that a lot of validators, new validators can struggle with, is gaining that traction, to get noticed, and then also to maybe even once they get noticed, is to retain that those delegations, things like that. And it's essentially comes down to like marketing, right? And so I was gonna say, well, how is it that you went about that, right? And so did you have a plan in place, or like that, or once you knew you wanted to do a validator, how did you go about it once you hit live day one, or how to get people to stake with you?
Okay. At first, I didn't know. At first, when I went live, I was just announcing it.
Sure.
And I didn't have a lot of followers on Twitter, and I just kept on waiting, because a lot of the old validators, like Stakery Do, is that I think that's his name, and the other one were telling me like the best advice we can give you is that to be patient.
Sure.
Because remember that we have been like here for a longer time, and people usually trust stable validators more than new ones. There's an incentive to delegate to you, but as people is like, even with big banks, a lot of people feel their money is safer on JP Morgan than on a small town financial entity or whatever. So I just kept on waiting. But then I noticed some of the validators would make reports of their latest epoch, like this is the amount I have staked, blah blah. So I started doing that, and a thing that I knew I was not going to do was that of the people that I stake in Cosmos with Atom, I'm not sure how their staking mechanism works, but some of the Atom validators that I'm staking with, they complain a lot, and on Twitter, and I never liked that, because the way I saw it was that as an investor, the validator seems like a middleman between the big project and the investor. You might have noticed, when an investor, when a delegator has any questions, they don't go to the devs. They don't go and message Stephen Say. They message their validator.
Sure.
So I said, if I complain, if I start moaning about, I've been 10 epochs on elected, blah, blah, it actually makes Harmony look bad.
Yeah.
So one of the things that I did was like, I need just to stay positive and just keep helping the community, even if I'm elected or not. And since I got so much help from the other validators, I said, I need to also help the new ones when they come in. And that's actually how I managed to get a lot of stake, was because of people saw me constantly on Twitter, not moaning and helping other people.
Yep.
Which it's a thing that I kind of noticed some of the new validators, not all, but some do. And then they ask, why are they not delegating to me? That because the only times you go on Twitter, it's to complain that you're not elected, and you're not spreading harmony stuff. Like that's one of the reasons. And the videos that I do for my little reports.
I love your little videos, by the way.
Yeah. So they are made with render forest. A lot of people ask me, oh, do you make them yourself? I said, no, those are like, there's a site called Render Forest.
Sure.
They have a lot of templates. And it's not the only website. There are a lot of them that have like pre-made videos, and you just import your logo, you manipulate colors, blah, blah. But it was a friend of mine who's into ICP, which I'm also into ICP. His name is ICP News.
Yep.
One day he just sent me a video it's the one with it's like a metal sphere and it breaks off and Titus.
Yep.
He just sent me that. He said, hey, I just made you one promo video if you want to use it. And I posted it and a lot of people like it. And I got a lot of stake after that, like a lot of delegators. And I said, oh, what is this site that you're using? What was it? And I got a subscription. It's a little bit expensive, but it has a lot of templates. Like not only for promos, the one that I use are just they're called logo reveals. And they're always short, but there are a lot of longer videos to promote events, promote products, to promote music, books. There are a lot of them. And I saw one of the new validators, I think his name is Hodl Gang. It's Hodl GVNG. So I guess it's Gung. I don't know. He posted a video of his logo, and it's like it's a video that I have already made a same video but with my logo. I said, oh, I saw you found Render Forest. And I said, yeah. Great. It's expensive, but yeah. So yeah.
Well, I can see that's fantastic that it sounds like A, you found like a little niche, something that worked for you for marketing, and B, what I can say is it definitely did. I took notice that when you started doing those videos, it's like, man, those things are sweet. I was like, and what's funny is I remember when you did your first one, I was like, wow, Titus must be, like an animator or something like that. That's a sweet logo, right? Like, well, because I think you had been around for a little bit, and you did one. I was like, oh man, he put together like a logo intro, and then next thing I know is then all of a sudden you did the one, and it worked so well, obviously, and then now it's like almost like daily you've got new ones or whatever it is, and it's like, and then now everybody expects it. That's kind of like your trademark. It's like, what's going to be the new reveal for Titus on his, like, I think if you just stuck with one, people would start to get bored with you. Like they expect you to be like,
but that is important as a validator, like the same way that since when you choose like a logo, you kind of set your trademark. I think in order for the community to see you as an individual part that is important and that it stands out from the community apart from your logo, you have to get yourself known for something specific.
Sure.
Whether it be, for example, Easy Note. Whenever I see Easy Note, all I see is very helpful stuff. Very helpful stuff for the validators, especially for the new one. And he's a gem in the community, because I was able, like, my first node was made so badly that it was a mess, and it was with his guide that I was able to do all the stuff that I needed to set up my second node and my redundant node. When people talk about JCR, you know that he's very knowledgeable and that is very helpful and that he's very active. When people talk about Jess, that she's like, in my head, she's like the harmony queen, because she's like so active, and always in Twitter spaces, talking with people. So that's what make them stand out. Because they all help in a different way, and in a way that if you have a problem, you know who to go.
Sure.
It's not that. So I think that's one of the best ways that you can market yourself in a crypto space, whether it's Harmony, whether it's Polkadot, whether it's Shiba, like that they know what is your position there. Even if you're not validated. For example, this account on Twitter, I don't say guy because I have no idea if he's a guy, if he's a girl, if he's a cat. I don't know. It's Big Whale.
Yep.
That he makes all these amazing videos.
Yeah.
And he's so, like everybody knows him, her, because of like all the information that they release, and that's what they do. So they are all already know. Like if they were to announce that they were going to start a validator, they would get a lot of delegators just because of how they're already known.
Absolutely. Your little intros seem to, you found a nice way to market yourself. That seems to be working well for you, but it sounds like for everybody else, it just comes down to finding their own identity, whether that, what that is. Do you have any suggestions for how someone should find their identities? That just comes through trial and error. And, did you have a plan for finding yours, or did you just kind of discover yours along the way?
Mine just had it was like, I just found it because when how this planet. Okay. When I started, for the longest time, not for the longest time, but for, let's say, 2 weeks, I was like the only new validator.
Sure.
And then Hank the Crank came in, and PH, and who else came in? Beyond, all these new. So we were like just like maybe like 4 or 5 that were new, we were interacting on Twitter and on Telegram, but at the same time we were also competing.
Yeah. So
because it's a competition, as positive as we are and helpful, it's a competition. So, and that's why I say, okay, I need to up my game, because I it's not that I want to make them fail, but I need to make the people know, hey, I am here. This is what I am, and this is why I think you should delegate to me and not to me. Also, there's the issue of this decentralization. How about if you help me and these other guys?
Yep.
So that's how, by being conscious that people do what they want with their coins, and that some people just want to stake and forget about it, but some people are looking for specific traits. That's what got me into, like I said, making the reports and making all those videos. And I think the new validators, because like I said, when I started, it was like only like 5 new of us.
Yep.
And I think I remember one guy, he came in, he didn't get elected for the first 5 epochs. He got frustrated and left. That I'm turning off, blah, blah. And then when I got elected, like more consecutively, that's when you came in, and NFT for one, and what was his name? Ruland. And
yep.
All those 4.
Yep.
All those 4 people that I did the giveaway for.
Yep.
After that, we've had a lot of new validators.
Yeah.
A lot of them. So I think there are more than 20 or something that are like new. They just pop like gremlins underwater. Like they just keep on popping. So they will have a harder time to make themselves stand out if they're just there waiting to get staked.
It's funny you say that too. Is one of the things I noticed. We did an initial right after you put us in, helped us out with the NFT giveaway on, and we we got elected because some of the big, a few of the big validators had given away, dropped some keys, and there we were unexpectedly at like 280,000, I think, and all of a sudden we were elected, and we're like, blown away. We didn't see that coming. We're like, and I think it was you actually who I saw your tweet. I was at work on a Friday morning, and it was like, hey, congrats to the newly elected validators. And I saw your tweet. I'm like, wait, what? I'm like, we have no business being elected. And I was just blown away. But anyways, and then you included us in that NFT giveaway, like within like a day or two. Like that morning you started tweeting with, messaging with me. And anyways, it created this whole huge train, which, we're eternally grateful for to you and to the Harmony community that got us to where we're at now. But anyways, my point to all that is, we wanted to then kind of pay it forward. And so we did the same type of thing. Then I think about a week later or something like that. And we're like, okay, well, that was amazing. Can we, keep the train rolling and maybe do this for a couple of the new validators also? And what's funny is what I noticed is when I was trying to find 4 new validators also, or, unelected validators to do the same thing and do the same type of thing you did, was 4 unelected validators to do the NFT giveaway. Is all the validators, I was looking at I was going to the validators and I was looking at their Twitter accounts. Almost all of them said like, you'd go to their Twitter accounts, they say like started September 2021. I was like, geez, these are all like brand new Twitter accounts. And and there's nothing wrong with that, but it's like, yeah, they're all brand new. And it's just, to your point, like everybody's already just popped up. Right. And just popped up. And it's the second thing too, is that I think it gets harder to get noticed then, right? Because they haven't, I could be wrong there, but it's, you have to be more active than if you're brand new validator, especially if you're brand new on Twitter. I don't know if that's something people check or like that, but that was something I was checking when I started staking. Besides staking for me personally with a validator, if I go to their website or if I go to their Twitter account and it's a brand new Twitter account, I'm just like, well, it's literally like a day old Twitter account. I'm like, is this trustworthy or not? Right. And so, but if it's like at least a 6-month-old Twitter account, I'm like, okay, well, they've been doing this for a little bit. So, and there's more money staked into it and stuff like that. And that's not to discourage any of them, but it's one of those ones I think it kind of pairs off with the stuff you're talking about. Like if you're new and stuff like that, I think it emphasizes the importance of getting yourself out there.
Being active.
Being active, because you got to separate yourself.
Yeah. Because if you like all that, like if I'm an investor, the same way, like, and if I'm going to stake 2 million won, I can see, for example, one of the big ones out there is Cheeky. Cheeky Crypto. And they have been in forever. Yep. So if I have to, am I going to support this new guy who got an account, it says October, and his node has never been elected, or to this guy who has been made for 2 years, has like 40 million stake, and have YouTube videos? He has a YouTube. Which one is more stable? Which on which I can make not only good rewards, but where are my coins safer? Because a lot of people actually think that when you delegate, you're sending them to the validator, which is wrong. But
right, but they don't understand.
A lot of people exactly. So they will choose the more stable one. So you really have to get out there. And one of the new guys, he asked me the other day, like, hey, I've been trying to get elected for a long time. Maybe it was just like 10 epochs. And I said, the best thing you can do is like to show that you're a good validator, that you're a good member in the community by staying constantly active, whether you're elected or not.
Yep.
That's how you're gonna make people, like, if they have to unstake, I'm gonna unstake because I want to help this guy, or I'm going to unstake because I want to spread it and I'm gonna include him too because he's a good person, like he's a good asset to the community.
How long did you I couldn't agree with you more. It's all about being active. So how long before you started your validator had you been posting and being active, like let's say on Twitter, with how long had you been engaging with the Harmony community on like Twitter and things like that before you had started
before the validator? Maybe like 2 or 3 months.
Sure. So people had still already in the Harmony community had been seeing your name on Twitter and things like that then, right? So
but like when my account before I started my validator was just a personal account.
Sure.
It was just a picture of me. I was a very crummy picture of, I actually have them here. I have all these physical crypto coins.
Oh yeah.
Like,
yep. I've seen you post those now and then. Yeah.
Uniswap. I had one picture of like a Bitcoin here and whatever. And it was just a personal one. I was just talking about crypto and the market's down, blah blah. And when I started my validator, I changed it to the Titus one because I didn't want to do that. I didn't want to open one that it just said active since July.
Yep.
I just said, since I already have people here, some of them are from Harmony, and these are the valid. Like I already had the validators who had helped me. So I'm just gonna switch it and make it a valid. Because really, without crypto, I wouldn't even have a Twitter.
Sure.
Like
yeah.
That's without crypto Twitter. It's stupid. Like I don't care what it is. So maybe 3 or 4 months before that, then I started the validator and I changed it to Titus.
Yep. Yeah, we had talked in our with my friends, in our little group, we had talked about running a validator back in April, and ours didn't actually didn't go actually live until I think the end of August or something like that, or whatever, September, or somewhere around there. I have to go look. But we started talking back in like, I think March, April or something like that. They were like, we should look into, running a validator. We get more involved and stuff like that. And at that point I thought, that's when I opened up a Twitter account. I had a personal Twitter account, but I always used it as like a personal news feed, right? I was never a type of guy to interact on Twitter. I love Twitter. I loved it for years for just that personal news feed, but it's always been one way. I've never interacted. I like to, I'm the silent observer on Twitter. And so then I was just like, well, if we're going to do that, maybe I'll have to start like being, active on Twitter. And so I created the account, or we created the account specifically with the idea of like, we should create an account, for the validator if we're going to do this. And so I was like, well, we got to pick a name right now then. And so we ended up picking a name, knowing that. But that was part of the reason. And I think it's one of the things that helped us long-term was, we had a account at least that was 6 months old, opposed to, the day, the month of or something like that. But there was also that thing of like, it was forced, not forced, but it was intentional of, being active and trying to like communicate with people in the Harmony community, but then also was actively trying to post, like I was posting, content and things like that about Harmony and crypto and things like that, just to be to get noticed and to be part of the community and things like that. So when the time came when we put a validator out there, it's not like we said, hey, we're a validator and we got immediately elected or anything like that, because we didn't. But it did help once we put out there that, hey, we are currently elected right now. We're not, we definitely have plenty of room to grow, but it's, I can't complain. We're doing well enough that we're thrilled. We thought it would take us a lot longer to get where we're at than we are now. So we're more than happy with where, we're, and I attribute a lot of that to it just, being active on Twitter and things like that, and just having a name at least that people recognize, right? It's even if people weren't paying attention, if our logo and our name over a 6 month period just kept coming across our Twitter feed, at least now when they go and they're looking on a validator page, they're like, oh, at least I recognize that name, right? Like, even if they're like, I know I've seen that name. So I think there's some validity to that. So I would, for me, I would think to new validators is like, if you're even thinking about it, I think one of the first things you can do is open up a Twitter page as soon as possible if you're thinking about it. Don't wait until you announce it. Maybe do it right away and start being active as you're building it and things like that.
Yeah.
And then all the things you talked about, about being active and finding whatever groove you need to find, right?
Exactly. And another thing that at least I've done, and I've had some success-ish, it's try to not be, is it the correct term? Tribalistic? For example, since I invest in so many coins, I also follow people from ICP and Atom, and through conversations, I've actually started investing in Harmony, not because I've told them to do so, but because they have become interested.
Yep.
And you get people interested in a crypto, not by making memes, not by trashing the other coins, just by engaging.
And that's a great point too, right? I think we've kind of wrapped up that answers everything I wanted to pick your brain on, Titus. It gives me insight of and it gives everybody insight on how to successfully maybe market a validator. At least kind of shows us how you've done it. And I think it kind of maybe it'll be helpful to new and up and coming validators or anybody who's struggling. Kind of gives us some pointers to look for. Thanks for joining me. If anybody wants to follow you, where can they reach you or follow you at?
They can reach me on Twitter at Awoke2Crypto.
Perfect.
Also the same name on Telegram and on Discord.
Perfect. I'll put your links in the description also. So, all right. Thanks for watching, everybody. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to hit like and subscribe. Thanks and bye.
Bye.